All right, good morning. Today's Wednesday, September 16th, and this video is for students who were unable to make it to the live session today. So today's live session, we really focused on reviewing the ideas of limited and unlimited governments. And we started off class by looking at some questions and talking about them. So I want you to think back to last week's Pear Deck about government. That Pear Deck was all about how government impacts you. And I want you to think about the following questions. What are some things that government does for you? And what are some policies that governments put in place that impact you? In today's live session, students talked a lot about what's going on currently with COVID-19. The stay-at-home orders, for example, in March, that was a state government order that was put in place. So decisions made at the state level directly affected us. The fact that we all have to wear a mask when we're in school, when we're out in public, that is another state order, but it's also a local order as well. Springfield Local Schools, the school board, which is considered local government, had a mask policy in place before the governor ever said it had to happen. So students talked a lot about that and how those different laws, not laws, but orders that are put in place are affecting us. A few reminders: make sure that you have all your work turned in from last week. Attendance will be going in soon. No work means you were absent for that week, which you don't want. And then this week in the Google Classroom, make sure that you are completing all of your assignments. There's an assignment about limited versus unlimited government. There's a democracy acrostic, some examples to read, and a graded review. For almost all of them, I have a video walking through how to do them with pretty explicit instructions. Let me know if you have any questions, though, in an email or in the comment section. So a reminder about why we have governments. Governments are there to make change and enforce the laws. A lot of students put down in the chat today that they help keep us safe. Governments decide how much tax people pay and how those taxes are spent. In our live session today, a student had a question about taxes. They wondered what taxes were. So anytime you buy something, almost anytime, you typically pay taxes. Let's say you want to buy this coffee cup. You go to the store, it costs $10. You go up to the cash register with your $10 bill and you're short because you didn't account for taxes. So in Ohio, it's about 7 cents on the dollar. So for this coffee cup, right, if it's 10 bucks, 7 cents every dollar, what is that, around 70 cents tax would be on this cup. So you'd really need closer to $11 to buy it. You buy a car, you pay taxes. Any purchase like that, the home, if you own a home, you pay property taxes. And when you go to work, the money that you get in your paycheck, there's a portion taken out for local, state, and national taxes as well. So what governments do is they take that tax money and they use it to provide goods and services for you living in the country. Governments determine how people access education and healthcare. They determine if people are going to have the right to elect those in power, how that's going to happen. Governments will control the military, the armed forces, protect citizens, and deal with other countries. So we typically take governments and we separate them into two categories. They're either unlimited or limited. And the definitions of those words really pertain to how much power governments have. So in an unlimited, well, in your regular life, right? If something is unlimited, that means you can have as much as you want. You can have as much coffee as you want if it's unlimited. In a government, though, that's not a good thing. That means the government has as much power as they want to have. In a limited, right? If my coffee is limited, that means there's rules and restrictions. Maybe I can only have 1 cup of coffee a day. When it comes to government, though, that's a good thing. That means that there's rules and restrictions on the leaders who are in charge. So a refresher, and this was in my video that I posted on Monday, in unlimited governments, you typically see rule by one person or a group with total power. The authority of the leader does not have limits. Everyone else, though, follows strict laws. Citizens are not guaranteed rights and freedoms. So again, think unlimited and not so good. This is where you hear of leaders like dictators, maybe a king, military ruler. Limited, that's the good type. Everyone, including the leader, has to obey the laws. So, for example, the President of the United States cannot go 95 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone if he's driving his car. If he gets pulled over, he could get a ticket just like me. Constitutions are typically in place to limit power. We're going to talk about the U.S. Constitution a bit during Friday's live session. Leaders in a limited government are usually voted into power. They're elected fairly. And in this type of government, citizens have rights and they can express dissent. Dissent means disagreement with the government. So again, you might see presidents and prime ministers in these types of governments. The United States, we have a limited government. We have the, three branches, a system of checks and balances in place to keep one person from having too much power. The leaders are limited by the Constitution. Free citizens have many freedoms that are protected. So from here, and this is the slide we saw in our live session, from here you're going to do a self-paced Kahoot. You won't need to split your screen. You're going to do a self-paced Kahoot. That will be posted in the Google Classroom. When you do the Kahoot, please put your real name so I know that you did it, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a good day.